Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Financial Myths and Misconception. Again, I'm your host for today. My name is Angeli Maldonado.
And I'm Ayana Alipio. Hi, Anjali. How's it going?
Hello. All good. Today's
Wonderful.
topic is so much close to our hearts, and
Of course.
it's more on immigrants, right? So our topic for the whole month of February is about immigrants, and we are here every Wednesday live on LinkedIn to explore the financial myths and misconceptions that can hold you back from achieving your financial goals. So get ready to challenge the status quo one myth at a time. And today we will talk about immigrants do not need to learn about the Canadian financial system. That is very interesting and so true. When I arrived in Canada,
Mm.
never did I realize that there are a lot of things that are different from where I was born and raised. I was born and raised in Philippines, and we like the image of having a credit card is just so different when it comes to Canadian financial system.
That's right. Well,
But some
many people don't use credit cards back home, or everyone pays in cash. Isn't that correct? But here it's completely different. Where your credit basically allows for you to decide, well, the bank could decide if they would want to give you more credit, or if to receive better lending terms from those financial institutions. So you have to build your credit from the start, 110%. So that's definitely not talked about maybe back home. Like, I know we're both from the Philippines, so I know it's very similar to others that immigrated here from a different country.
Yes, because who would have, or why would you plan to have debt or loans in the
That's true.
Philippines, right?
You come to a country where it's supposed to provide you a better future, and
Yeah.
then it's telling you that, hey, you need to build up credit score, and you were like, what the heck is that? And how do you then accumulate credit score? Uh you got to build your credit by getting your first credit card, by if you when you set up your cell phone, like, they check your credit for all those things. Any movement, it
Even
feels like they check.
renting.
Even renting, like,
I
if
was surprised about that one.
yeah, actually, you could, if you are renting, then you could put that onto receive. Like, there's a form that you could do, so that it could then provide you a better credit score, so that it could help, like, boost up your credit. So yeah, but obviously, if you're a good payer, if you're not, well, that's a different story. Okay.
It's another
Yeah,
topic.
so definitely, also, that is one thing, and Angeli, taxes is another thing.
Oh, that is more, more longer hours that we need to talk about taxes for sure.
Yeah,
It's
110%.
definitely different from any country you were born and raised.
Yeah.
100% so different, and you want to be smart about it. Like, you want to learn more about taxes, money, how you earn money in Canada, how you save money in Canada. Just because even if you earn a lot more, hello, taxes, taxes.
Yeah, well, there's everyone would want to earn more. Let's just regardless of
Obviously.
taxes. I don't mind paying taxes if it's going to provide me more in the long run,
Hmm.
because you can't escape it. Because the more income you make, regardless if you're a business owner or an employee, you will pay more taxes as your income grows, whether it's corporate or personal. If you increase pulling money out from your, like, corporate, and the more, like, wherever you save money, as you mentioned, like, you have to understand, like, is it tax now, later, or tax
Hmm.
advantage. And then also, where you buy, like, you buy something in Canada, depending on where you're buying it, depending on the province, you get taxed. So if you're in Alberta, you get paid tax. You pay tax less. If you're in Quebec, just like currently I am here, and, well, you pay more taxes here, and also in Manitoba. So You pick your battles. But and I don't know if anyone knows, but when we passed away in our home country, maybe we don't think about paying taxes of all the assets that we have accumulated when we're alive. Well, here in Canada, you got to pay taxes when you die. So there's like no escaping from that. And a lot of maybe it's much better to live back home at this point in time.
And that's the
So
thing, like
you got to plan
immigrants,
for it.
yeah, they plan for that. So immigrants would realize that okay, there are some things that they need to put in tax implications in their plan. Like let's say, yes, Alberta has lower, but you still get taxed. But some people, like most of the people I know, are came to Canada like an international student, and realizing that they would save more if they moved to a different province than an expensive Ontario, you know. So they would move to Alberta, or I know some moved to Winnipeg or PEI, New Brunswick, but still almost the same tax in compared to Ontario. But they would see it as also it's another way to save a little bit
Hmm.
to build up their future, because obviously come into Canada, you might have certain amount of savings that wouldn't last you for maybe a year or so if you don't work,
Well, if
right?
you come here to Canada, a lot of times you support back home too.
100%.
So, and it seems like, making a different currency, it's a lot of times goes a long way back home. But if what you're making as an employee, it's only on paper because you got to pay half, like if you're making 100,000, then half of your income goes to the government, almost half, depending on which province you live in. So, but they don't, but when you think about that, it's like, okay, I make 100,000, but really I make 50,000. And if you're making 50,000, that means to say you're not making really 50,000.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that is, yes, you made it. It's just that part of it went to taxes or Uncle Trudeau took it.
They really
And
didn't
one of the
plan
other
on.
things, not just taxes, Angeli, one of the misconceptions when it comes to coming to Canada is life insurance or insurance in general.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So back home, there's a lot of taboo topic, or not many people believe in insurance because it closes down, it went away. And then so here in Canada, it's different, it's regulated, and you should have insurance for yourself, especially if you're coming here with a family. Very important. So as you build your investments or savings or wealth here, you should have insurance in place at the same time, because it takes time to build wealth. And well, emergencies or things like prematurely happens, that could happen at any time. So something also to really look into, especially if you're a new immigrant, or even if you're not, you're building yourself here, or you're first generation Canadian, that your parents are immigrant, they didn't really teach you that. It's something to really look into.
Yes, definitely. And it could, they like, you wouldn't know that this little step that you do for yourself when it comes to insurance could actually make a big change in your life. Like, let's say you wouldn't know what's going to happen tomorrow when you wake up. But let's say, for example, you mentioned it in our live before that you have this client where you gave a critical illness claim recently, and there's no even history of the disease that she got, right? MS. And
Yeah.
imagine that, just waking up the next day, your body hurts. Let's say you can't breathe, and with that, you went to the
Exactly.
ER or hospital, and it might be connected with a lot worse of whatever disease,
Mm-hmm.
right? And is your money prepared? Are you prepared? Is your family prepared for
Yeah,
that one?
exactly. And even like, let's say I've seen a lot of immigrants that come here for as a, like, one is an international student, like out of the couple, and then
Mm,
the other one is an open work permit, and then they bring a child with them. Like,
mhm.
as I've seen that more often than than before. And then when it comes to that, like, so if you're focused on getting your degree or some type of certificate for your school, because that's how you came here, then more so that you need some type of protection or insurance in case something were to happen to you. You're still building up your career here. And if something were to happen, and well, what's gonna happen to your surviving family financially? Well, you're trying to start your life here, and all of a sudden everything has to stop. Like, do you go back home because you can't afford the life
Yeah,
here? Do
that
you know
is
what I
hard.
mean?
Yeah.
Things to note. And since we're talking about, well, since we started talking about death and being protected in case that happens, one of the other things that many people don't think about is a will, which
Oh
is
yeah,
not
for sure.
okay. In most countries back home, there's no such thing. Well, there probably is, but many people don't have it because they think, oh, having a will is only for the wealthy,
Agree.
right?
Yeah.
And
And because if,
maybe
let's
not just
say,
immigrants, like just in general, many people think, isn't it true, Jelly, that why do I need a will if I don't even have money or I just started here?
yeah,
Completely different system.
definitely. It's different, 100%, so much different in Philippines. Just because if, let's say, recently I have this someone that we know that recently passed away really young, 21 years old, and
21?
single mom. Yeah, single mom. She has a 5-year-old,
Oh, wow.
and I don't think there's any legal battles about where would the kid would be, right? If it happens in Canada, the government will take the kid. If
Well, yeah, they go to child
for
family
a while.
services
Yeah.
until the surviving family decides who will take care of the kid, guardianship, and also if there's money, who will be the trustee of the child that the parents will leave behind. Because what they're thinking is like, well, the child is receiving money, maybe there's a life insurance
Mhm.
benefit. So even though it's family, I you hopefully my mom doesn't hear, but I mean, what I'm trying to say is, what if like they want access, they only want access to the money, so they want to care for the
Yeah.
child, and then once they have access to the money, now they have the child and they won't take care of him or her. And that's because the government, like, that's what the government is thinking, which is why if you don't have a will and you have a minor child, newborn baby, here in Canada, you must, because if something were to happen to you as you walk out that door, or both parents, or something happened, then you know what, your child will not be in a very good position, or it's going to be a lot of money. The surviving family, maybe they're good people and they want to be the
Wants to
guardian
take
and
care of, yeah.
trustee, but they still have to go through the battle, especially if there's dispute. Maybe there's another family that wants to
Yeah.
take care of the child. Now they can't make a decision for the child, so the court has to make a decision. So it not only costs a lot of headaches mentally, but also financially, you will have to hire a lawyer for yourself, and
There's a
you
lot
got to,
of financial stress in every
yeah.
situation that could happen. And
So
so that's why we are
if you don't have
preparing
life
for this.
insurance, you don't have a will, you haven't built your credit, uh, hey, you got to start somewhere, and if you don't know where to start, ask someone for help. Like, obviously now, if you're listening to this, Angeli and I are your resource. And Angeli, why don't you tell them about our workshop?
Yes, so we have, for the month of February, we have workshops every 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we dive into different topics. Like, let's say you wanted to buy a home after 2, 3, 5 years, or if you are taking care of your vulnerable parents, if you and your spouse came into Canada, right, and you have kid, you wanted to prepare to fund her or his college or university education, right? So these types of workshop are available for you, right, every 7 p.m. You can attend anytime. You can bring friends. You can share it to everyone. that you care for, and just attend, right? So it's quickly like 30 minutes or an
Yeah.
hour. You will learn a lot of things that you know that it will be with a trusted source, right? So we're both licensed in this industry, and we've helped dozens, thousands of clients all over Canada.
One of my favorite workshop next week is where we help if you're new in Canada how to be successful on your first year. I think that's such a great workshop. And I wish there was something like that in place for my parents back in the day. And I know there are some nonprofit organization. I could only speak for Manitoba that they started doing that a few years back. And it's such a great tool. And so if you haven't attended any of those events or workshop, I highly recommend it. I'm biased because it's our workshop, and I know that you'll be able to understand the Canadian system after attending, even a few times. And hopefully that will give you the confidence to build a better financial future for your family, Jelly.
Yes, for sure, 100%. So feel free. I will actually put it in the comment section, the link or the registration for the workshop. Feel free to attend and share it to everyone. And that's it for us for today. We hope you find the discussion today really insightful, and to boost a little bit confidence that you will be okay in Canada, right? As long as
That you don't
you
sound so confident saying that. So
as long as you're open to learning this
yeah,
new
a
thing, or
hundred
this
ten
a new
percent being open.
one. Right? And thank you for listening and watching us. We'll see you again next week, every Wednesday. Have a great day.
See ya. Bye.